I hope you would have seen our press release yesterday, clarifying the facts, and thus will keep my opening remarks short, followed by question and answers. As you all know, IndusInd had a great long-standing business correspondent arrangement with Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited, which culminated into a merger in June 2019. BFIL prides itself as a process-driven organization with a professional management. The bank inherited these processes built over years of operation in the deepest of geographies and added further layers of oversight once the merger was consummated. The bank, however, received allegations made by anonymous individuals during October. The key issues raised in these allegations and our findings are as follows. Governance and control. BFIL has been an independently run company for a large part of its existence. This was a professionally run organization with a strong governance practices taking into account sensitive customer segment. BFIL was a business correspondent over 5 years before the merger, and bank had developed oversight mechanism for a BC structure, including a formal risk management committee. Post the merger, the bank extended its oversight to cover entire operations of Bharat Financial and also included additional measures applicable to a bank. Our risk management policies ensures all products are in compliance with the extant regulatory guidelines. The processes followed by BFIL pass through audit, inspection, and risk and compliance checks. The bank thus believes the governance has been strengthened over the years. Evergreening. The bank strongly denies the allegations of evergreening. All the loans originated and managed by Bharat Financial are fully compliant with the regulatory guidelines. The COVID spread has impacted livelihood across the country, including the microfinance segment. The bank extended the support measures, including moratorium, ECLGS scheme, and restructuring of loans as per the applicable regulatory framework. All the loans follow a weekly repayment. If there is any default, the same gets recorded as missed installment. In view of the weekly repayment model, the concept of evergreening is infeasible. The business model is conservatively focused on lower ticket sizes, geographical diversification, and lower customer indebtedness levels, which has withstood multiple challenges over the last decade. The next thing was loans without customer consent. BFIL for years had a process of taking biometric consent through Aadhaar, and if this fails, then the OTP from the customer. There was a glitch in the system due to which loans got originated without OTP in May 2021. This was flagged off by Bharat Financial field staff through routine process. The technology team immediately rectified this issue. Of nearly 84,000 loans that were disbursed without the customer consent getting recorded at the time of loan disbursement, out of the above, only 26,073 clients were active with the loan outstanding of rupees 34 crores, which is 0.12% of the September end portfolio. The bank carries necessary provision against this portfolio. The standard operating procedure has since been revised to make biometric authorization compulsory. I want to reiterate that there is a strong risk management and a control framework in place, both within the bank and at BFIL. We have been following conservative recognition and provisioning approach. We will never shy away from taking provisions if that has to be taken, and we will not conceal any stress in the portfolio. We have discussed credit cost range during the Q2 analyst call, and we remain comfortable with that, including for microfinance. We have also given an update on the growth and asset quality of microfinance during the analyst call last month, and the portfolio continues to perform well. Thank you, and I open the floor for question and answers.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Rahul Jain from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, Sumant and team. Thank you so much for doing this call. Got a couple of questions. Number one is, has RBI already opined on this particular matter? Would this be also part of the risk-based supervision audit that gets conducted for the previous audited year?
So, Rahul, very valid question. I think we have kept all our stakeholders updated on all these, and in fact, the whistleblowing complaint has been marked to the regulator also. So we have been in touch with them, and we have completely kept them abreast of what we are doing as a internal review process. Number two, yes, it's part of the review process, the annual review process, which happens, and it is already going on, and they are reviewing this portfolio.
Got it. Thanks, Sumant. Is it also possible to get the data points with regards to the bucket movements in the MFI portfolio? As to, would you be able to tell us, what were, the portfolio into various buckets, 0, 1 to 30 DPD, 30, 60, and 60.
So yes, absolutely. Let me tell you what are the buckets and where they are. The bucket movement, X plus buckets, total overall portfolio is 5,000 crores today as of now. I'm talking to you as of October 31st. 5,050 is the exact amount. Out of that, 2,600 crores in X to 30 bucket, which is the X to 30 bucket, and it's people who are paying intermittent. The 30 to 60 bucket is 1,000 crores, 1,160 crores, and the balance is in the 30, 60 to 90 and 90 plus bucket. 90 plus bucket is about 464 crores, which are lying in the gross NPA. So you'll have to back out that because it's lying in the gross NPA and already provided 100%. So please understand that out of this bucket, most of about 3,200 crores is lying in the X plus or 30 to 60 bucket, and the balance is in the 30 to 60 and 60 to 90 bucket.
That's helpful, Sumant. Thank you. And one more last question is, could you please tell us the ECLGS that you would have disbursed in the MFI?
600 crores. 600 crores.
That's the outstanding.
Yeah. That's the disbursement also. I think what we disbursed, 600, I think. I don't have the real outstanding as of now, but the 600 was the ECLGS disbursed, original amount.
That is the total disbursal in the last 1.5 years under two.
Yes. Yes. If you remember, we took a hit on the PNL and we never did restructuring in the COVID 1.0.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Sumant, and wish you good luck.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jiten Doshi from Enam AMC. Please go ahead.
Sumant, wish you and your team a very happy Diwali. Thank you and Happy New Year, and thank you for responding so quick to the announcements. Now that we are on this call, with your permission, I would like you to give us an update on the outlook of the business. Probably how has your October been and how do you see the whole year ahead?
So, happy Diwali to you, Jiten bhai, and happy Diwali to all my colleagues out there, investor community. I think the business has done very well in the month of October. And hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes.
The business continues to do very well in the month of October, and we believe that we are back on track in the month of October. I think all the businesses have done well and are nearing the pre-COVID level. In fact, over the pre-COVID level, and up to our expectation of what we've committed to the community, we will be able to achieve that number. That's number one. Number two, on the collection front also, we are seeing improvement in all the business. In microfinance, I've told you there are 2 states where there is a problem, and there's been very low improvement in those states. One is Kerala, the other is West Bengal.
So given this situation now, there is no change in your outlook on credit cost?
Not at all. I think we have taken that into account when we said we took into account 6 to 8% of flows in the microfinance business when we gave the credit cost, and that remains.
Okay, wonderful. And my last question would actually pertain to going forward. How do you see the momentum as you go into the next year?
So one thing which I want to convey to the community is that the past legacy as well as the bad loan throughput should be behind us, and we would have adequate provisions, contingent provisions to take us forward as we move ahead into the next year. I think the growth is back in the economy, and all our businesses are at cyclical lows. Whether you look at vehicle finance business, whether you look at microfinance business, or you look at even the corporate business of ours, which is at cyclical low. I think the business is going to ramp up. We are now positioned for growth. We have excess capital. We have now also raised a tier 2 bond to take our capital adequacy ratio above 18%. So we've seen the announcement. So I think we are poised for growth, and I think you will see the growth happening very strongly. And my view is you will not see these issues of legacy of non-NPA declaration and all as we move into the next year. All of the legacy issues have been taken care of, and if there are any issues which come through the review process and an independent review process of the Bharat Financial, we will take that on our chin and move ahead. I assure you that there will not be any legacy left behind.
Yeah, but Sumant, last 1 or 2 years has been very challenging for the Indian economy, which I think is now coming out of its shell. And we are looking at 2022-23 to be a very robust period for India, within which we believe the commercial vehicle cycle rebounds, along with rural India doing well. So do you believe that you can grow at a multiplier of the systemic growth, because you're present both in commercial vehicles as well as microfinance, and I think you have completed your correction of the portfolio in the corporate side. So do you believe you will be able to grow as a multiplier of the systemic growth rate?
So, Jason bhai, we have given a guidance of 16 to 18% CAGR for the 3-year period. Our year 1 was a washout and we had a negative growth because of the COVID. Year 2, we will see a good growth of 14 to 16%. I think year 3 would be a better growth, and I think we have always said that we will continue to perform better in our domain businesses, and I believe that we will continue to outperform the industry in our domain business.
So there's nothing that's actually changed in your outlook?
Nothing I'm changing in my outlook. Yeah.
Fine. So you remain very confident for the period ahead?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, fine. Wishing you and your team all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Kunal Shah from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Sumant and team. Wish you a very happy New Year and happy Diwali. So 2 questions. Firstly, in terms of the management change which is being talked about at BFIL, so if you can just give some color in terms of the management team change and the plans out there. And I have one more question. I'll take it after that. Yeah.
So this is a news in the market, and we've also heard it. There are no such resignations received by the bank or the Bharat Financial. In case of any such event, the bank has a well thought through talent management and succession planning process to ensure seamless operation of business. So Kunal, I don't see us having an issue if somebody wants to go. I think, the bank has a backup plan, which is succession plan, which is always ready with. And as we talk, we have already started putting some resources there to make sure that they understand the process and understand. Example, Srinivas Bonam, who's a veteran of microfinance industry, is already in Bharat Financial reviewing the business as an independent person and will run the business as a chief operating officer if the need arises. So we have already got a backup and a contingency plan in place to make sure that there is no stoppage of the processes and the growth of the business as we move ahead. Kunal,
Sure.
have I answered your question?
Yeah, got that replied. And the second question was in terms of the new loans getting extended, what you have highlighted in bullet point 3, in terms of on the payment of arrears, we have given the loans of a relatively longer tenor. So just wanted to understand the structure of that. So was it purely the payment of the arrears and the old loans not getting repaid? And what would be the quantum, maybe in terms of the arrears which were paid and the new loans that were given out?
So let me, Kunal, let me answer these questions in 2. Why did we give the loan? So there were clients who reached out to us asking us for lowering of the equated weekly installments. And we offered them the option of closing the existing loan and clearing all the dues before we can grant them a loan. And I think that is what, and so we gave them a little bit of liquidity, give them a view to say that you close these loans and we will give you a new loan. And this was granted after a cooling off period, and we gave them a new loan. And I think that's the loans which we have done. If you look at the performance of the portfolio, I think our portfolio collection efficiency is 94.6%. And we had stopped giving these loans in the month of July or August. And if these loans would have stopped by now, I think they would have come into the delinquency. The beauty about our business is the extra structuring budget portfolio is still consistent, and so we are seeing a stability in the flow. And I believe that the nature of the MFI business is that you got to support them during these crises, and you give them, provided they are current, give them an additional loan or give them an additional tenor to take care of these outstandings at that point, or to take care of the crisis at that point of time. So I think that is what we've done. I don't think we've restructured any loan. This was a new loan, provided the client paid off this loan.
So the old loan was entirely repaid, and this was altogether a new loan. So there were no two loans existing at any point in time.
No, absolutely. There was no. Let me also tell you, in some cases we did the top up. In some cases we did. The average loan outstanding per client has remained at 1.51. So it has changed from 1.51 to 1.57. So our average loan outstanding per client has remained the same during this time. So it's not that we've gone ahead and started giving multiple loans to the client. It's not right then.
Okay. And what would be the quantum of this? Maybe if we have to look at it, no doubt it stopped since July, August. But what would have been the quantum wherein this longer tenor loans would have been given in place of the existing loans after having been repaid?
Not so much. I don't have the numbers with me, but I can send you the numbers and I'll put it out as a data point. But I can tell you, not so much. We'll give you the data point.
Okay.
Yeah?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jay Mundra from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi sir. Thanks for the opportunity and festive greetings. I think it may be a bit of a repetitive, but let me just ask it. So these allegations are coming, looks grave, and you have also clarified with the press release and also with this call. But these allegations are coming probably at a time when there is a change in the management at the BFIL. So maybe if you can highlight if this could have any bearing on the asset quality situation, and in case there is an indeed change in the management, what is the kind of succession planning that we have? Thank you.
So I have just said that we remain committed to our credit cost estimates which we have given in our investor call. We have said that we will be between 160 to 190 basis points plus 50 basis points for the Vodafone exposure. That is about 240 to 50 to 70 basis points, which is about 240 to 260 basis points. That's the range which we have given to the analyst investor community. Second is, I've just answered that question. There are no such resignations received by the bank or the BFIL board. In case we receive a resignation, we already have a succession planning in place, and I can assure you there will be no disruption to the business, and we remain committed to our credit guidance as of now. Unless and until our review throws up something which is extraordinary, I do not think that our credit guidance will change.
Right, sir. And just last thing, just a small clarification. So, just to understand the slippages that we report at the entire bank level and maybe individual business level, is this do you net inter-quarter recovery from the reporting slippages, or once an account slips and it gets recovered, does it get clubbed in both slippages and recovery, or you sort of net it out if the account has been upgraded subsequently?
No. You never net it off. your gross slippages, if you see our investor presentation, and it's there in the portfolio quality section, and I think you will see that the gross slippages are gross slippages. And I think what you show as write-off reductions, you show as write-off, upgrades, and recoveries to compute the gross NPA number. Please.
Right. No, so just to highlight, I mean, if you recall, State Bank had, and some of other banks have also, maybe they were following this consistently, but I just wanted to double check that.
No, we report gross slippages separately, and we report write-off, upgrades, and recovery separately to compute the gross NPA number. So we do report the gross slippages. It is very important for the market to see the gross slippages.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Suresh Ganapathy from Macquarie. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Sumant. I have some series of questions. So let me begin by asking one thing. Is M.R. Rao a part of the firm, or has he left the firm as he submitted his resignation?
He is now an advisor with IndusInd Bank, and he's no more an non-exec. He was a non-executive vice chairman, which he's resigned, and he is now only an advisor to the bank.
But Sumant, why was this not disclosed in the quarterly conference call held on October 26th or 7th? Because this happened in September, right? There was no such intimation to the analyst community about M.R. Rao leaving.
Please understand that M.R. Rao is still an advisor, and he was a non-executive vice chairman. And this is a company which is not listed. So this is a BC company, and I don't think it was necessary for us to inform that. Please understand, he continues to be part of the bank, and he continues to guide me on microfinance.
But when the press reports are saying that he's also expressed reservations about Evergreening despite being an advisor, that's what the press reports are saying. So
no. You're absolutely right. He's expressed a report on the process quality on the 84,000 loan. He's never expressed on Evergreening and did not comment on it. Please. He has expressed a reservation on the 84,000 loans, which I have admitted that there was an issue and a technical issue, Suresh. And I said that in the meeting. And we corrected that issue.
Okay. Sumant, again, I'm just going by the press reports. They said that between October 17th to 24th, this whistleblower complaint was sent to you, to the board, and to the Reserve Bank of India. Again, your results conference call was on October 26th or 27th. Why was it not informed that there is such a whistleblower allegation at that point in time?
First of all, this is not a whistleblower. It is called a whistleblower, but it is an anonymous complaint. And on an anonymous complaint, you don't classify it as a whistleblower. There has no names of the people who've written the complaint. It is very important as per the whistleblower policy of the bank that the name of the people should appear. But having said that, we took it very seriously and we started the investigation, and that is where we are. And if you look at the quarter two results, I've always said that we have taken all the gross flows into account. If you look at the restructuring book and this, we took about 1,970 crores of flows, in the sense restructured and gross NPAs into account. And I think that's what we did. And if there was any such thing, I don't think the review is happening independently, and we will assess it. There is nothing that we've hidden from the stakeholders, and that was not the intent. If you that's what I can answer. So it was nothing which was hidden.
Okay. So sorry. So one more question here. Assuming the CEO and the CFO are also going to quit, that's what the press is quoting. Obviously, you have not received any communication from them. But then if that's the case, let's hypothetically assume in a matter of 2-3 months, we have the vice chairman has resigned, the CEO and CFO could possibly move to a competitor. All of that has happened in the last 3 months, or So why exactly? Yeah. Sorry. So just to harp on this. Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right, and please understand, M.R. Rao continues to be an advisor to me. So it's not that he's not involved. He's involved in everything which I do. Number one. Number two, though he does not want to be on the board of directors of Bharat Financial, which is fine. This second, on the succession planning, we already have the identified resources, and there are internal candidates who will be given a elevation in the job, and I think we have a structure in place. It can happen anytime. The organizations are much bigger than individuals, and we have a very strong structure in place to take care of it.
Okay, and M.R. Rao didn't express any reservation as to why he wanted to resign. I mean, why he wanted to be an advisor and be off the post. Yeah.
No. First of all, there was an agreement between M.R. Rao and the bank that he would retire as of March 21. So there was a agreement which was in place, and we had to honor that. He had expressed. Second, he was upset with this 84,000 loans, and I want to be honest. And he said, why was the process? And I think we have taken action against certain people against this action, and he was very upset about it.
Okay. And finally, to assuage investor concerns or analyst concerns, do you plan for an independent forensic audit here? Because irrespective of what the internal audit says, maybe an external auditor could give more sanctity to the entire process. So what is your thought process on that? You want to go for an external?
You are absolutely right. We will validate, we will have the review process completed. We will have a committee which will have external partner and an external auditor in validating the results, and will have an independent process going on to give comfort to the investor that everything is right in Bharat Financial. We will not be happy with only the internal audit.
Okay, that's very clear. Thanks so much, Sumant, for answering the question. Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Mahesh MB from Kotak Securities. Please go ahead.
So, good afternoon. Two questions from my side. The first question is, when a customer is in default and they choose to ask for a top-up loan or an extension of the loan or a fresh loan, how long does it take before the existing overdues has to be finished and a new loan has to be disbursed?
So I think we've given a cooling period of 3 to 7 days. Right now during COVID times. Otherwise, the cooling period was 30 days earlier. So in COVID times, we've reduced it to 3 to 7 days.
Okay. So at no instance can a borrower essentially take a new loan and kind of repay the older loan simultaneously.
No, there was a product which we did during COVID too, which is a small product of 600 crores, 700 crores outstanding as of now, where we allowed this between 1 and 3 days also, or same day and 3 days. We allowed that to happen, but there was in some states there was an emergency crisis, and we allowed the clients to take it within a lower time frame also.
Oh, sorry, in the sense that even if it's 1 day, so for example, if I have, let's say I'm 60 days overdue.
So I've gone to a, so this is approved by the central authority that you can give loans to these guys. This is his credit history and everything. And they offer these loans and say, if you want to clear your dues, you can clear your dues, get us the clearer dues, you will be eligible. So they get the money, arrange the money. The first transaction is the payment of the loan, and subsequent transaction is the loan disbursement.
Okay, and you say this quantum is approximately 600 crores.
600 crores, and will be down to about 300 crores this quarter.
And when you did this check, because you have a fairly accurate number here, you would have said that this could have potentially slipped into NPLs if the borrower had taken a longer time.
Mahesh, you're absolutely right. The important part to look at is two vectors. Is my X plus stabilizing? My X plus has stabilized. Secondly, is my collection efficiency improving? My collection efficiency is improving. Absolutely. My X plus has stabilized. My collection efficiency. So if I keep on cleaning my 90 plus, my portfolio in X plus will go down at the maximum level. So that's what I'm looking at as a number. My X plus goes down, and hopefully this quarter we should be down to 3,500. We are through with this problem.
No, I think the problem is not that we are due with we will be competing it nevertheless, because once the economy comes back, we know that things will get normalized here. We just need to understand what could be the potential impact of it.
The potential impact is between 6 to 8% of the portfolio, and that's what I've said, and I continue to remain at that level.
Okay. Okay, sorry. The second question is when these approximately 80,000 loans had a technical glitch, what, any reason why it was specifically for this 80,000 rupees? 80,000.
Because I'll tell you, there was an indicator which was missed, and the program is created in such a way that it was not checking for that indicator, that it bypassed that indicator, and that is where these were 84,000 loans which had this issue, and that is why it got. So it was a technical glitch where the program did not check for that, and that's where the problem came up. And the other issue, Mahesh, is that why should you use a supplementary process when biometric is the way you authorize the genuineness of a client? Why would you use OTP? So I stopped the OTP process completely, and we only follow the biometric process now.
So I get it, but I'm just trying to understand why did the glitch occur, in the sense that what was it across 1 day, 2 days, or did it happen over a period of time in the month of May? How did it happen?
So it happened on May 21st. Yeah, it was brought to the notice of the RMC immediately. OTP, yeah, so that was the issue, and it was done at that level. And I think that is what it spread over 6-7 days, and that's how 84,000 loans. So it was intermittent. It was not for all loans disbursed. It was intermittent, and that's where the bug was, and that's what was fixed. So it was about 84,000 loans were disbursed during the 7 to 10 day period till the fix was received.
And just one final clarification, that those set of accounts were overdue as well, where they had a chance to default, or you think that it was just a glitch which was sitting there? When you look at those 80,000 odd accounts, you see any pattern there, or it's just that it happened only on those few days?
No, I don't see any pattern of avoiding delinquency. The delinquency in these accounts is exactly the same and replicates the actual performance of the portfolio.
Perfect. Okay, this is useful, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Sumant Katpalia for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
So as we, I hope I've been able to give you the confidence on the management and give you the utmost belief that we will never hide anything from you. The bank will continue to be conservative. The intention is not to keep anything under the carpet. And Suresh, that goes to you. I don't think the intention was to hide anything from you or from the investor or any stakeholder. I think there is a process which we are following. And I hope, please understand, the bank has a succession policy in place, and any sort of issue is addressed at a very swift and a fast pace in the organization. I can assure you that we will continue to be conservative and make provisions as and when required. I continue to believe that our credit costs will be range bound, and we have utmost confidence that we will not bust the credit cost range. Thank you so much, and thank you for your time during this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of IndusInd Bank Limited, that concludes this conference.